Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Echo45 Advisors Market and Economic Update. In this video, we'll be discussing the upcoming presidential election and the candidates' economic platforms. This election is historic because the economic policy proposals of both candidates are still being unveiled, despite the election being just 2.5 months away. Still, it's possible to not only draw similarities and differences between the two candidates, but it's important to review what history tells us about the impact of each political party on the economy and on markets. It's also no secret that politics have become very much more polarized in recent years, and many Americans feel very strongly about their candidates. However, while elections are important as voters, taxpayers, and citizens, it's important to vote at the ballot box and not with our portfolios. Over the next few minutes, we'll discuss each of these topics and show why investors should not overreact to any election outcome or policy proposal. First, this chart shows that the economy has grown steadily since World War II across both Democrats, shown in blue, and Republicans, shown in red. Recessions are illustrated by the shaded blue lines. While this may not seem intuitive to some investors, there are many more significant factors that have an impact on business cycles beyond which party is in the White House. These factors, such as globalization and the information technology revolution, took place over decades and would have occurred regardless of who was in the White House. Over time, it's these broad business cycle trends that drive investment returns. So, while economic policies can impact factors such as taxes and industry regulations, investors should keep in mind that they are not the only drivers of market performance. Next, despite easing inflation and a strong economy by many metrics, consumer confidence remains low. Consumers have been through a lot over these past few years, and there has been a significant rise in consumer debt. As you can see from this chart, total non-mortgage consumer debt has more than doubled over the past 2 decades. Student and auto loan balances, in particular, have surged recently, increasing at their highest rate since 2003. Both presidential candidates have centered their economic platforms on consumer issues for this reason. Despite their differences in many areas, especially when it comes to social policy, their economic proposals share many broad-based similarities. Both candidates have focused on the cost of living, including grocery prices, prescription medication costs, and housing expenses. These will likely continue to be the key talking points through the rest of the election cycle. Finally, this chart shows the highest marginal individual and corporate federal tax rates over the past century, with select major changes to tax rates labeled. It shows that taxes are actually fairly low relative to historic levels. Some expect taxes to rise in the future given the growing size of the budget deficit. As expected, there are notable distinctions in crucial areas such as taxation and policy approaches between the candidates. However, they both agree on raising the child tax credit and no taxes on tips. The reality is that despite the perceived differences between the two parties, many policies often stay in place during transitions of power, and the changes that do occur tend to be incremental. As the election heats up, investors should express their preference at the ballot box and not through their portfolios. We hope that you found these insights helpful. If you would like to discuss any of this in more detail, please feel free to reach out. We look forward to speaking with you soon.